Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the crossroads of life and the first one in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Blue Collar Psychiatrist video series. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the crossroads of life and the first one in particular. What are the crossroads of life? The crossroads of life are decision points that we all have to make from the age of majority, that is 18, through the end of time on our earth. That's it. We have to make certain decisions. The first decision, and a very key decision, is where will you go to college? Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, unless there are extenuating circumstances, the 18-year-old person who has graduated high school, who has prepared himself by joining clubs in high school and by going away on chaperone trips, is more than ready to strike out on his own or her own. In fact, I've known a number of families where it's just assumed that the 18-year-old, the high school graduate, will go away to college. There's never any talk about attending the local university. In my particular case, as I've mentioned to you before, my mother was a widow and I lived with her. My father passed when I was 6.5 years old. And I remember my grandfather discussing this very issue with me. He was sitting in our living room. It was just him and me. My mother was at work. The conversation turned toward attending college. My grandfather said to me, quote, "You don't want to leave your mother alone. I think you should stay here locally and go to college." Now, that is a very difficult decision to make to begin with, and now to have the pressure of my grandfather insisting that I stay because he didn't want my mother to be alone. However, from a selfish standpoint, what about me? I could have, in my opinion, benefited greatly by having gone away to college and learned all the non-academic skills that one must have in life, such as buying clothes, washing clothes, taking care of myself, going to the doctor when necessary, studying habits, all these things one must learn in order to be successful in college away from home. These are invaluable skills. Unfortunately, I listened to my grandfather partially because I did get a one-year scholarship to the local university, and we were not awash with money. Nevertheless, I think I still probably would have stayed home because of fear, and that's not an excuse. On the other hand, there was an acquaintance of mine, an acquaintance whose name was Bernie. Bernie came from a very similar background as I did. His father had passed away, he was the only child, so it was just him and his mother. But when it came for him to decide where he was going to go to college, he had stated to himself and to his mother, "There's nothing for me here. I'm going to go away to college. It's only 3 or 4 hours away. If you need me, you can call me and I can be down in a couple hours. I'm not going across the country." Bernie, who had been very shy as well, went away to college, met a young lady, got married, and had several children. Bernie made the right decision. Now, I do believe that it's a waste of time to look back on decisions that you made that you find now were not the right ones. No one wants to admit that. But I say this to you for the future, for parents of high school kids, for the high school graduates themselves. Unless there are extenuating circumstances, you should consider strongly going away to school because of all the non-academic things about life that you will learn and can take with you throughout your journey on this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I remind you, drink! And drink abundantly from the fountain of life. See you next time!